Yeah, it was a good win for us over Grambling. Had a great crowd, great atmosphere, and did some really good things. Josh Johnson had a big night, I think 170-something yards rushing, and that was the kind of the highlight, I guess, of our night. So it's good to go 1-0. Have a really tough task ahead of us with Florida State, and they're coming off a tough loss, but played really good and was up pretty good on Boise there, and very, very scary with, starting with Blackman at quarterback. We played against him 2 years ago, and Cam Akers at running back, who's, probably considered one of the better running backs in the nation, and then, some of the weapons they have at receiver, and then their defense returns a lot of guys from last year on a really good defense. So, we actually went to Florida State 2 years ago, so we know it's a tough place to go, but certainly looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, thank you so much. Our first question comes from Whitney Hayworth with the Sunbelt Digital Network. Please go ahead, Whitney.
Coach, you spoke about some of the Florida State players and what you expect to see from them, but looking back to your team in this past weekend, what were some positives that came out of the game against Grambling for you all?
I thought we ran the football good, and so Josh Johnson had a big night. I thought we ran it good. Caleb was pretty efficient, other than the one interception. Not many, maybe two, procedure penalties, which you get a lot of in the first game. So I thought for the most part that was pretty clean. Defensively, we gave up a few things, but played really good in the red zone. And I think that was kind of the difference in the game for us, because Grambling scored one touchdown, but got down there several times, and, we kind of held our own down there and forced field goals, and hopefully we can do a little more of that.
Looking ahead to Florida State, Steve Campbell mentioned earlier on his call that you make so many adjustments from week 1 to week 2. It's where you see a lot of it change. So for you all to go into Florida State knowing that they're coming off a disappointing loss, kind of how does that work to your advantage, and what are some things that you want to sharpen up before heading to Tallahassee?
Well, our execution has to be a lot better, and that was something we talked to the team about yesterday in terms of overall operation, sidelines, getting kids on and off the field, special teams, all that kind of stuff. We have to get a lot better at that. And, the main thing with us going to play them is looking at, now with Kendall Briles as the offensive coordinator, and it's just the pace of the way they're going to play. And, we don't huddle, but we don't really play at that pace, so we don't practice against it. And I think that's the big key for us going, and our defense being able to line up and us communicate and being able to substitute. We can substitute against that kind of pace. We just don't see. So that's the main thing right now that scares us.